So I have a um, new automation that I'm gonna build off of. I made a video. My last video is actually about my lead qualification bot, specifically for Facebook ads. Um, so I made some adjustments to it. I think I made it better. But right here I have just a whimsical board and kind of gonna go through what exactly I'm gonna do in this automation. I have part of it built out since I already had a video on it, so I kind of just extended that qualification a little bit more. But essentially, what I'm trying to do is totally make my custom apparel business like 100% hands off. Totally ran through AI systems and like AI agents, and it's essentially one AI agent that passes off to other OpenAI assistants, but it's one specific person in our staff. So I'll show you. So I have my Go HighLevel here. So I'm gonna pull up my staff and I'll show you what I have here. So my staff. So Morgan Freeman. So this is our sales at Track Barn. This is our overarching AI agent that will handle all conversations and be passed from GPT assistant to GPT assistant. So I'm doing it this way as like it's a person in our Go HighLevel account, because it just it makes things a lot easier too. So we can track messages and also track it on like the leaderboard and track if it's doing, what it's doing, how many messages it's sending, how many meetings it's booking, how many sales it's making. So that's like the ultimate goal, is to go through and have it essentially be an actual employee, but like handle pretty much every single aspect of what we do. And we had to actually scale back a lot of what we're doing to make this possible. This wouldn't be possible if we were doing the amount of business we were doing before. But essentially, like, we're scaling back to build more sound systems. Like, we pretty much rebuilt everything through Go HighLevel and Airtable and a few other tools to automate things like Make. We used to use Zapier, but Make is a little bit makes it a little bit better, I think, than Zapier right now. But so this is the frame. This is the pretty much the lead qualification system that I had set up before. I set up I changed a few things. Like, I also changed how our leads come in through Facebook. So I do have Facebook lead form submission. I have a customer replied trigger via SMS, customer replied via email, contact changed to qualified. So this also is important. And then customer replied via Messenger. So I'm just gonna add in Messenger here. And then it goes down into this condition, and then the initial messages. So like, this is the initial chain. Initially it's gonna send a voicemail drop, a SMS message, and an email message to this person. So this is how I had it set up about 2 days ago. So this might also change, because I'll show you how my leads are coming in now. This whole entire process will probably most likely just be done through Facebook Messenger. But so right now, this is how it's set up. It's my first initial messages. I'm gonna send them a voicemail drop, text message. Actually, I'm gonna switch up the order here. I'm gonna switch up this to text message, because if you send a text and then call them, especially on iPhone, it'll say like, maybe Morgan Freeman, or maybe Track Barn, because they already have a text message from you. So if you do voicemail drop straight up, it'll just come up as unknown, or maybe like spam risk or something. But if it has your a text with your name or your company name, then when you call, it will come up as, maybe so-and-so. So when they check their voicemail box, it'll say like maybe, Morgan Freeman, and then they'll listen to it like, oh, like they also called, texted and emailed us. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then I have a wait step. So the wait step here is just pretty simple. Wait 1 hour. If contact replies, I actually have, I didn't finish this, so I'm going to do a go to. We're going to go from here to back to condition. So this would then, I'm going to add a tag here too. So it would be, so it's going to be active Facebook lead. So that means, they replied, they're actively engaged. It's going to go back to condition, and then depends on what channel they reply from is what we'll get. So this is also going to have to be contact details, tag, it includes active Facebook lead. So then just depending on what channel they reply from, it would then filter it based on that. So say if they reply via SMS and they're tagged as active Facebook lead, then it went back to this condition, so then it filters it down to the SMS channel. So it's only going to send them an SMS, and it's not going to send them it won't send them like an email as well. It's just going to send them an SMS message, which is what we want, because we don't want it to be like, go down this path again, then it sends them a voicemail drop, an SMS, and an email, and then they're like, this is definitely an automation, not an actual person. So we want to make it, as close to how a normal person would communicate as possible. So this is also, so I don't need to add a tag on this one. So like say they reply, so it's active, goes back here, then it goes down this path, say they replied via SMS, and then it's still tagged active, so then it goes back down to here. So then if they reply again, it goes to here, and then it filters it based on channel replied from and then tag it has. So then it would continue to go down this path, and then this webhook sends to our make automation. So let me show you make. So I have in it make, I have AI agents. I have a couple different ones for Facebook as well right now. So this is my current one that it goes through. So it goes through specific stages, which I'm gonna actually change this up as well. So everything is like based on tags and whether or not it has a thread ID or not, or if it's qualified or not. So that's the current one I'm using right now, but it's a little confusing for my bot currently. So right now I have it, it essentially is passing it to the sales agent. So like for example, I have so I have this one. It's like not equal to true, so customer's not qualified yet. So it's going through the qualification process. And this is like the initial qualification message. This is the like follow-up qualification messages. And then this would be, let me check on this again. I did this like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, then this is the final qualification messages that would then send either a catalog or a booking meeting depending on what the person wants to do. And then these ones are tag exists. So this tag, I'll show you how it comes through in a second, but tag exists, thread ID equal to null, and then this is not equal to null. So like when I send a thread ID through that's blank from a customer profile, it comes up as null, and then obviously like once I update it with the thread ID that comes through, then it will update it to the actual thread ID. But let me show you. So this is like my webhook with all like the custom data that I'm feeding through to the AI agent. So this is, some of these fields are blank because like we don't have it filled out yet. He's not qualified. So like essentially what happens is these fields get sent into this webhook. Webhook gets a contact, and then say first initial message, we don't have a thread ID, so then it writes a message. This is like essentially like a qualification, and then this is a message like JSON response, which I could actually probably get rid of this first one and then just run that one. But then it updates the contact with whatever custom field we come up with. So it's trying to read the answer from the customer. So like say I ask it like, how big is your team? It says 20 plus. So then it then breaks it down into JSON of like, yep, team size 20 plus. So then it takes that information because it outputs it from the conversation. Then it populates their team size in their customer profile, and then it sends a webhook back. And then, this is supposed to save response, because you want to save response in even if you don't use the webhook output here. So like I don't even use the webhook output. I actually just update it inside of Make because it just works a little better. But you always want to wait for the save response webhook, because then when it does that, then it actually like will wait until completion. So like once this is totally complete, it sends a webhook back, and then once it sends a webhook back, then it goes to the next thing. But then I already will have my response field saved. So then all these SMS templates are the exact same. It's just contact Morgan response AI. So Morgan is our AI sales agent, our AI business agent that will have their message saved. Then it sends it, and then I need to add a wait step in here. So that would have been tough. So wait for reply, contact reply, SMS. So I'm not gonna do a follow-up right now. So it's just wait until contact reply, then go to here. So like you could do like wait an hour. If they don't answer, send a follow-up message. That's kind of how I have the initial message, but I kind of want to test it without it and then see where people fall off before I start putting in follow-up messages, because I also don't want to like completely like burn a bunch of messages on dead leads. So I'll kind of show you also our like broad funnel lead generation that we're doing. Like I'll show you my whole strategy there, but yeah, so let me add some of these in here. So we're gonna add another wait step in here, go to, so it's the same exact thing for the email too. Like we do the same thing, send the same exact stuff, just have to save response. So I always just test it with like my own profile in here, send test, and then it's like, yeah, it worked. Save it, and then here's our email. So right now our subject is a $10,000 team gear giveaway. So our lead magnet right now is we're doing a $10,000 gear giveaway. We do one every single month. So it's at retail cost, and essentially what it comes out to is like pretty much a team of 100 will do 100 team bags for them. So they could get 100 free backpacks for their team, and every month we give away $10,000 in gear in retail value. So pick a team, or we pick a couple teams to like get to that $10,000 goal, because some of these teams that fill out the lead form don't have 100 athletes. Probably like average team size probably 30. So yeah, so this is email one, from username, from user email. This is my subject right now, still testing. So the subject, we're gonna try this one for a little bit and then see how it goes. But and then same exact thing. It's gonna be same reply. It's just gonna be contact response AI message. So it'll be always the same. And then so essentially this is initial messaging and qualification stages. And then whenever we get the information needed, which would be team size, if they're a coach or administrator, and their team size has to be greater than 10, then they would be technically qualified for this giveaway. So then that's when it updates inside of Make that they're qualified. True, is it true or false? So then once it updates to true, then it sends it down this path. Workflow contact is changed, qualified. So then it has to be changed to true, and then it qualified, and then it creates an opportunity. So then the opportunity is then created, and then a tag is added, active sales lead. So once active sales lead is added, then that's when we're gonna change her assistant. Right now she's working through the lead qualification assistant in OpenAI, and then that tag's gonna push through, and then it's gonna change to the sales assistant. So then she's gonna go into sales mode. She's gonna be like, all right, this person is qualified. Now let's try and sell them on, our product. So essentially, what we're doing though is like the $10,000 gear giveaway is obviously our lead magnet, and like these leads come in. Whoever doesn't win it, we're trying to sell them on our service. So that is the goal of this bot. Is once they qualify, we try and sell them on their service, and then we pick one, sometimes two teams, depending on how small they are, to get that $10,000 giveaway per year, per month. Sorry, not year, every month. So right now we have, let me see. So yeah, contact change. This would actually send to my sales bot. Just qualified. Yeah, actually. Yeah, so that's gonna be active sales. I'm gonna add a message here. And it really depends on what they're replying, what channel they're replying back and forth from. So let me see. I'm gonna think this one through a little bit. Custom webhook. So I'm just gonna do the same exact process here. I'm gonna break it up by channel replied from. So includes sales. So this would be SMS active sales lead. So then what I can do here is just copy all actions from here and then copy down. So makes it super easy because it's essentially like the same exact thing. So what I would do is then go through, and I'm just gonna add in email, and then one more thing. I actually need to add in Facebook Messenger as well, because I'll show you why I'm doing that. But I'm just doing it super well-rounded right now. Like every channel possible that we communicate on, so that if there is, say, it happens all the time though. So someone fills out lead form, we message them on, Facebook or something, and then they'll actually just send us an email too, like, hey, I entered your giveaway. So then, if they're already tagged and they're in this uh, flow or automation, then that conversation would still get picked up via email. And then also too, you never know. Like people might not answer Facebook Messenger, but they might answer SMS or email. So like we're gonna try and hit them on like every channel we can, so that they know, they know it's for real. It's not just like um, you know bullshit. But all right. Alright, so I'm gonna go in and like rename some of these too, because some of these things are gonna be the exact same. Qualified sales process. I'm just put sales process SMS. I can't spell, so sorry guys. I'm not a world class speller. That's why you have spell check. Okay. Contact details tags includes sales. Alright, active sales lead. So then I'm literally just gonna go in here, copy action. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. So I can copy all actions and then copy. So this is also only sending a singular webhook into here. One of my business partners actually made a better like assistant. So this is like master assistant. But this also calls a bunch of tools. But for now we're still gonna just use my simple assistant, and like we can easily change to that later on. But I'll show you guys how that would all tie in, probably in a separate video. But yeah, so right now our webhook's going here, information's coming in, and then it's split based on where things are at. So like tags. So I do. Let me see. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here actually is add in a. I gotta make sure I'm saving responses. So that's the one thing about like automating, like trying to automate a person and how they interact. There's a lot of little tiny things too that you have to check. But I mean, it's not crazy. It's not too crazy. Like you spend some time on it, you can figure it out pretty quick. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna add a tag. So what I can do is, this is how I'm going to filter it through my make automation to then send it to like my sales assistant. That's still Morgan, but it's just trained on sales. So I'm going to go name it the same exact thing. Active sales lead tag is active sales lead. We're going to save this, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. So it's going to be tag make sure you put your commas in here. So yeah, so we're tag initial message. Then we're gonna go into sales. Then I'm gonna add another condition. Sales process email. Sales process email. All right. So then I'm gonna do sales process. FB Messenger. So this would be flow trigger. Reply via Messenger, and then we're gonna add in contact details. Tag includes. Alright, so tag includes active sales lead. So one thing I actually have to do is remove. So it would be remove. So I want to remove my Facebook, my active Facebook lead tag, because that is going to would screw it up if I kept that on there. So now I'm gonna do a go to as well. So it adds new tag, and then it goes up there, and then conditionally it would just get it would just actually I don't even need this. It's not gonna. It doesn't matter. I don't need that. So. Okay. Yeah. So. Customer replied via this. So it'd be the same thing, but I need to delete this. I'm gonna add in Messenger. Facebook Messenger, reply to directive, no template. So then I'm gonna go into my custom values. Morgan. Buttons, add invite up to action buttons. Alright. So this is our default timeout. Wait time for default next 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's fine because it's still gonna wait on reply. So, ooh. What? Oh, can I not do a wait step on? This is the first time I've done a Facebook Messenger, by the way. So this will be interesting. Shit. Alright, I guess I can't do this just has a default timeout, which just sucks. Okay. So that might be tough, cause I mean I could just do a 1 hour follow up. Just double tap them. 60 minutes. Yeah, so this will still work. But what I'm going to do here, I am going to run a follow-up because I can't wait on reply. So I'm going to just double tap them an hour after. So if they don't answer within an hour, it will send them. Oh, dude, I don't want to do that. Alright, we're gonna just test it this way first. So timeout says 1 hour, but I'm gonna go back to 1 minute. So what's gonna happen here is it'll send my response, then it ends it in 1 minute after response. So I'm assuming probably not gonna answer back faster in a minute. But then once they do answer back, it'll just trigger again and then send them back through into here. So that should be fine. But I do need to add one more condition. Can I duplicate this? Duplicate branch. Yeah, this is FB Messenger. I'm just gonna do qualification. Okay. Slide this up. Email qualification. Yeah. Okay. So copy. So I do have qualification here. So this needs to get deleted. Okay. Save. Make sure you hit save. Whoop. Said I had an error. Wait for that. Wait. Oh, wait step. Yeah. So that should be good now. Okay. So these wait steps aren't working. There we go. Alright. So saved. So right now, this is the qualification to sales flow as of right now, inside Nexus. So this would take care of all the replies. I don't have any follow-ups right now, obviously. I've said that before. But essentially what I'm going to do is test this as is and then see where people are falling off and then see what I need for replies, because I'm going to add in tags too for follow-ups. So then when I do send a follow-up and send it back to make to the AI agent, it's going to generate a new message for a follow-up, so it's not sending the same message over and over and seem automated. I am going to adjust this, but I do have a different one. I have Facebook Leads 2.2. So this is the one I want to work on. I copied it just so I can work on this. But let me see. Alright, so the next thing, I'm just going to show you kind of how my leads are coming in now. So this is what I was saying before. We changed up our lead form. So I'm running Facebook lead ad, like super simple. I think I'm only spending $5 a day, but I've been getting some crazy results, like 20, 30 leads per day with $5 ad spend. So it's pretty good strategy. But this giveaway, we're running that monthly giveaway, and then essentially all we're asking for is, what's your team affiliation, email, full name, does your team need uniforms, phone number, and what's your sport involved in. So that is kind of what we're doing here. But yeah, so that's the information that's coming through. I just changed this up yesterday, so I'm getting a whole bunch of new leads here. via Facebook Messenger. So how I test my automations is I essentially message. Um, I'll message the channel, obviously, with that specific information. So what I'm gonna do here is, since that reply is coming via Facebook Messenger, I'm going to only create a filter here. So the other filter here would be contact details, full name is, and then it's just gonna be my name. So this is how I would how I filter this out. So I also need to add it here too. So this is how I test my automations for lead stuff, so I can get an idea of how it's working before I let it go live. The only thing that doesn't work is obviously I know when I'm gonna reply and stuff like that. So setting up the follow-up messages, that's honestly kind of like the way I test this. I just run it and then I'll adjust it as needed, and that's definitely the best way of doing it that I found, at least, because it doesn't matter. You can set up the greatest automation ever, but it's gonna evolve over time anyway, no matter what. So you might as well just test it on real people. And also too, our lead funnel right now is so broad too, our lead ad, so broad. So it's a great way to test it too, and it's a low cost way to test your automations and figure out what works. Obviously there's some other low cost ways to do it too, but this is the way that I'm doing it. Alright, so I'm gonna save this. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna turn this on, and then I'm going to test it with a Facebook message. So let me open up my Facebook. Doing this off to the side real quick. So I'm gonna message track bomb. Let me see. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna copy this person's stuff, but I'm gonna change up my full name. Oh, come on, bro. So, for you, football. Yeah, so essentially what I'm doing over here is just I'm writing a message. I'll show you when it comes into Go HighLevel, but I'm just updating it to match essentially how the form comes in. So it should, yeah. So here we go. So this is how the message comes in. And then we're gonna go to enrollment history. Execution. Enrollment history. No. Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, this is why, because we're quote trigger is lead form. I need to change this. Or I'm gonna add a segment. Or Facebook customer reply messenger. So, well, actually, I gotta actually have to edit this because it needs to be full name needs to be my name. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do then is just resend this same exact message. So this is how the lead form comes in. Just gonna send the same thing. I don't know what the hell this is. Enrollment history. So so it went through. And then I'm now getting a voicemail drop. So I got voicemail dropped, which is good. So I was wondering what was happening there, to be honest. I was checking my watch. Very unsure. But yeah, so it actually put me into here. Where is it? Yeah, so.
Hi, this is Morgan from Track Bar and Excellent Biz. I just wanted to say thanks for checking out our custom team gear program. We've got your info, and I'd love to learn a little more about your team, so we can see if you're a good fit for this month's gear opportunity. Feel free to give me a quick call back, or just reply to the email we sent, and we'll get things moving. Talk soon.
Yeah, so this is how it came through. Some of the messaging is based on the old flow. So like it's sending them essentially a quick form to fill out for more information, but I'm not going to do that actually. What I really wanted to do, which it should give me that info, I'm actually going to just change all these webhooks and then do it again. Because all these webhooks will go to a different scenario, so then I can rebuild it a lot better. So I'm sending this webhook to my copy of my old make scenario to then make just a better one that fits kind of what we're doing here now. So I'm gonna turn this. Yeah, there we go. Turn this on, and then it said there's something about something happened here. Okay. So I'm actually going to just run this module, and then I'm going to legitimately copy paste this message in here because I just want to see essentially how it comes through into here. It shouldn't execute the whole entire thing. Actually might. Yeah, I'm going to remove myself. So yeah, I gotta do it one more time. Alright, so I'm sending a message in Facebook Messenger. It should come through. It should at some point in time. Yeah, alright, here we go. Okay, so actually do need to, yeah, alright. There's a couple things I gotta do here because I need to actually add all these to my full name. So, because people are doing this on a live account, so if people reply and they have these tags, it's going to send them messages, which don't want to do right now. So, because still testing, still in test mode. That's all good. Alright. So, save it. And then, let me get back up in here. Enrollment history. I'll remove myself again. Builder. Then let's see. I'm going to send another message. See if it actually works. But, yeah, it should work. Let me see. Alright. So, it's 9:38. Alright. So the message came in. I got a voicemail drop. So that's the way it's supposed to go. But obviously the messaging needs to get updated. Let me see. I'm gonna go into history here. Details. And then this is gonna give me a little bit better idea. Alright, so yes. So this sends in the message info. It's exactly how I want it to come through. So I have a very simple Facebook lead form. It's legitimately 5 questions. Phone number and email are automatically filled in based on Facebook users' profile and their name. So those are things they don't have to fill in. But then the other 2 things is just what sport, football, and are you coach, athlete, or administrator. So that would be, but then I don't know why this is saying sport niche is track, but oh, yeah, it's saying that because that's how my account is currently set up, as a track account. So change to football. So what I could actually do, so I'm gonna pretty much like totally rebuild this, just make it a lot better. Let me see. I think what I'm gonna do, so yeah, so easy tool here. Just create JSON. Oh no, not create. Sorry. We're just gonna parse this message because technically it's coming in as a JSON. So this message is gonna be, we're gonna parse it. First thing we're gonna do is parse it. So I'm gonna save it, save anyway, run anyway. And then I'm gonna remove myself again. There's definitely a faster way to test this than this, but yeah, so I'm just gonna run this again, and then I just want to see how it comes out JSON wise. It says invalid, so yeah, let me see. Oh, here we go. I'm definitely king of just running a shit ton of different modules and then leaving them on my board. But alright, here we go. So let's do it like this. Run anyway. I'm gonna remove. Shit ton of testing. Shit ton. So yeah. Then we'll just wait for this webhook to come in. Boom. Came in. So definitely. So it just made it into a string, which is fine. Yeah, it's not really what I want. It's not what I want. I mean, legitimately should just parse it, but I shouldn't need that second one, but it's fucking, let's see. I don't think it's gonna work again. Alright, let's see it. Oh, yeah, it's not liking that. Not liking that. Alright, so I have an idea though. So this is getting the contact ID. So that's fine. I'm gonna skip that part right now. So yeah, essentially, I'm gonna totally redo this whole thing. I'm gonna redo this whole thing. Okay. So that's one thing too. Like I specifically have to like instruct it like it's part of this giveaway. Determine if the person is a coach / team organizer or has 10 plus athletes on the team. For qualified leads, gather their info for a temp quote and pass them to the sales team. For others, collect their info for future follow-up and encourage them to stay connected. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm actually going to go ahead here and kind of change this up. Alright, so a quick just updated the prompt for it. I'll show you what I did there. But yeah, just use ChatGPT. Just combine the prompt into one, but I'll show you kind of what I'm doing on that one. But I did realize that I did not have a send save response webhook here, so that's why I kept sending the voicemail and stuff. I was like kind of curious, like that should be sending, but so essentially what I was doing was like information I already had logged in my account. It was already sending that information. So let me see real quick. Let me see. This doesn't get an error in this, but I should not be getting an error. Yeah, I don't know if I've aired out. Oh, that's why. A little late on the errors there. Getting emails for errors. Alright, so I'm legitimately just gonna test this GPT module here. This is just like the first response. I'll show you the script that I did it to. It's like, your Trackborn Excellence says, and your name is Morgan, a smart, friendly assistant built to help sports teams get fully custom gear fast. This assistant is part of the 10K team gear giveaway, so make sure to acknowledge that in every first message. Your goal is to qualify leads through an engaging and helpful conversation. To be considered for the giveaway, a team must be led by a coach or organizer, have 10 or more athletes, complete a custom quote. We'll gather information for that here. If a lead qualifies, collect the info below and guide them toward getting a quote. If not, still collect what you can and encourage them to stay connected for future opportunities. So yeah, that's just response style, blah blah blah, plain text. Here's like a example through a few quick steps of getting an active quote. Place your team order. Let's start easy. What sport do you coach? Organize for. So I actually already have this, because I have if they're a coach and what sport I'll be like, I have some information. Put sport. Yeah. Let me see. I'm just gonna try it like this to start. I don't think it's gonna work, but that's crazy. Alright, so that didn't work. That's fine. Wait for new data. So enrollment. Okay. Send this through again. I think what I'm gonna have to do though is set up what the fuck? This is invalid reference. Alright. So back to this. Okay. Alright. So here's my output, which is not how I want it to be output at all. I think I just need to change this. Nope, JSON object, parse yes. as a conversation return following a JSON object. Yeah, definitely did not come out in JSON. That's annoying. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's a JSON string, so it could just parse it into a. Quick steps and those getting active code place your team. What's your team support and size? Pain points, service interest. Yeah, so I might, yeah, because I'm gonna have to. Essentially, what I have to do, I'm gonna have to put a. Because I could just do text to structured data here, so text to parse, message, prompt. I can just do. So. Come on, dude. Alright, so essentially what I'm doing is just taking that form response that comes into the messenger, so comes in via this. I'm just put it in ChatGPT and turn it into structured data, and then I'm gonna just put it in my prompt right here. So it will then hopefully yeah, so then I can just go with this team affiliation. Yeah. I don't need email, I don't need name. I just need team needs uniforms this year. Description. Phone number. Sport. Yeah, usually I just type in the same thing twice, but we'll see real quick how this works out. Make sure the webhook is still. Oh, okay. Alright. Moment history. Alright, let's try it again. Okay. So this is how I want it to come out. So now my output is structured data. So then I could go in and I could technically just update the contact rather than get a contact. Update it right there, and then feed that information into right into the OpenAI assistant. But yeah, let me work on that real quick. All right, my other camera died, so I had to use the computer camera. But yeah. So forget where I left off. To be honest, I had to quick switch out cameras, but right now. So I went in and updated a few things though. So a couple things I forgot was I actually need to assign my agent to this lead. So our master agent Morgan is assigned to any conversation thread they come down. She's assigned. So let me see. Yep. So messaging's working. One thing I needed to add though was a reply via messenger. Okay. Alright. So So ideally, you don't necessarily need to okay. So alright. So this is my new webhook here. I have quite a few different ChatGPT modules. I'm still trying to figure out the way I really want to do it. This way is fine, like definitely usable. But the way the message comes in, so it doesn't come in via lead form actually. So I'm just gonna delete that. The way I have it set up is fills out a Facebook lead form, but then it creates the messenger message. So it's essentially gonna be triggered by this, and then the other triggers would happen based off of if it was these other things happen, like they replied via a different channel or something. But I think what I want to do is send a webhook right off the jump, and then essentially match the condition. So Yeah, but then I'm gonna send a webhook for everybody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm turning it off right now because I have this webhook in the top. But I mean, I could make one more thing down here, but because ideally, what I want it to do, like best case scenario, would be sends a webhook, parses that message, updates contact info immediately, and then based on the conditions, then it goes down to where it is, because the new form I have, like, essentially they'll answer all the qualification questions. So, if they answer the questions that we deem qualified, then they would go right into the sales bot immediately. And then if they don't, they would go into the lead qualification bot. But what we would do in that bot is essentially like an unqualified nurture. So essentially, I don't know, I would have it go in there, and then it'd be unqualified, but then I would ask that person, hey, like, and tell them, like, hey, you don't qualify right now for this giveaway, but if you know another team who would qualify, and then like give them some of the qualification guidelines, like, hey, like, you need to have X amount of athletes, X amount of spend, and then you qualify for the giveaway. So that would be kind of what we would do on the left side. And then the right side, like I said, is the sales process. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. But let me see. Oh. Alright, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just updating this prompt via. So essentially, yeah. So this is gonna be like my unqualified nurture lead. So this will be unqualified, and then this one's gonna be qualified. True. Okay. So I'm just updating prompts here. Nothing crazy. Yeah, that's the other one. Here we go. So essentially what I'm gonna do here is send them portal. Where is it? So the thread ID should exist. Alright, so thread ID technically will exist, which is fantastic. So thread ID, save. We are gonna update the contact here. Update. Sport ball. We're not gonna have a response here. Budget, no budget, no paypoint, qualified. Result. Save. Alright, so essentially the way this is set up now, I really only need 2 branches, which is sweet. So this is wrong agent. So alright. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna test her out real quick. See how we do. See how we do. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I know why, because I took off. Yeah. Alright. Okay, well, that makes sense. Didn't have it turned on. Alrighty, let's see. Let's see it. Oh. Let's test it again. Test it again. Alright, so this is what we got for the messaging. Boom. Needs team uniforms. I'm a coach. The one thing it's not getting is the $1,000 spend, so it's disqualifying me right now. So it's like, hey Josh, I'm Morgan from Trackbarn Excellent Living. Thanks for checking out our 10K team gear giveaway. To officially qualify, teams need to have 10 plus athletes, gear spend of $1,000+ and led by someone making uniform decisions. It looks like your team doesn't quite meet all requirements just yet, but no worries. We'd still love to stay connected and keep you in the loop for future giveaways, deals, and team gear launches. You can also pass this along to a coach or team lead who might qualify, and we'd be happy to hook them up. So the only thing I don't really like is like a lot of emojis. I just don't like emojis, to be honest. It seems extra fake. And then the dashes too. So I always kind of add this into my prompts too, just like don't add any extra dashes or emojis. So alright, so I'm gonna come in here. Remove myself. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. Boom. Send this in. So I just added a couple fields into the Facebook Messenger message. See what happens here. Okay. So it qualified me, which is great. And then sent a message. Well, actually, question about how many others are in football team and to make sure we never quote. Okay. Alright, so clearly this needs to get fixed, which is fine. We'll fix it up. But that's where I'm gonna stop this video today. I'm gonna pick it up in a second video, essentially continuing the bot build of essentially a master bot to like handle all aspects of our business. And I will make a follow-up video probably in the next few days.